Use your small inside voice in here, son.
There's a gun.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 action comedy Bullet Train, a film that is directed by David Leitch and it stars Brad Pitt, Joey King, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, we've got Michael Shannon, Sandra Bullock, Bad Bunny, Zazie Beetz, the list goes on. And the film focuses on the bullet train in Japan that is jam-packed full of hitmen who are all there for a specific reason. They're all intertwined on this train and they all basically, start trying to kill each other. What more can I say? Right. What are my thoughts on Bullet Train? Now, this is a film, obviously, that came out at the cinema fairly recently. It's a film that I was obviously aware of, but it was a film I wasn't necessarily stupidly excited to see or anything like that. The concept is something that you could argue is kind of being done to death these days, like films with assassins, like stylistic action and all this kind of stuff. Very John Wick in its approach to action, and a lot of action films are kind of borrowing heavily from that, which is understandable. I mean, John Wick, I think, has been leading the way in regards to stylistic action over the last decade or so, certainly. But I have seen Bullet Train now, and what are my thoughts on this film? I have to say I was really quite impressed with this film. I thought it was really, really entertaining. Now, Brad Pitt, I'm not really sure what to say about Brad Pitt. I'm not what you would call a big fan of Brad Pitt, so I don't get excited when the Brad Pitt film's coming out at the cinema or anything like that. He's done a lot of films that I have definitely enjoyed. But to see him do like a film like this, where he can basically have fun in the role, I'm not sure I can remember him doing a role like this for a while. He probably has, but like I say, I don't necessarily follow his filmography. But I have to say, I thought Brad Pitt was excellent here as this assassin called Ladybug. He plays like this hippie surfer dude, a hitman, who's trying to almost like turn over a new leaf, and he doesn't want to be a hitman, but he kind of does it anyway. But he won't use a gun, he believes in love and peace and all this kind of stuff. And he's quite a unique character, and he delivers it perfectly, and he's really quite believable. And yes, while he might be like this, hippie surfer dude, he's pretty lethal at the same time. So I thought Brad Pitt made for a really charismatic lead here, and it was really, really great to see him in a role like this. I did enjoy it. And you forget of the comedy sensibilities of Brad Pitt. He's got really good comedy timing, and he proves it here in this film. But I have to say as well, the film is absolutely jam-packed full of memorable characters. Sometimes when you put like too many characters in the same place, like on this train, and they all kind of doing the same profession, a la assassins, my worry here was that it was going to be like too much and they won't be memorable. I was completely wrong on that. They're absolutely all memorable, especially Tangerine and Lemon, played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry. These two brothers playing these hitmen on this train. Great dialogue. Everyone's got great dialogue in this film, actually, but them in particular. One of them, Lemon, is a big fan of Thomas the Tank Engine, and he judges everybody based on the characters of Thomas the Tank Engine, which, to be honest, never got old while I was watching this film. I thought it was fun. And there's loads more as well. I thought Joey King plays this other young female assassin who's probably smarter than them all. You get other ones turning up. You get Wolf, played by Bad Bunny. Who else? The Hornet, played by Zazie Beetz. And they're all memorable and they're all deadly. And you get some really cracking fight scenes and action scenes on this bullet train, which is a unique setting sort of thing. Yes, it did get a little bit silly by the end. It went a little bit over the top, I think, but it needed a suitably energetic and explosive climax, I suppose. I think it's based on, is it a book or a graphic novel, something like that, which it all might have been in the graphic novel. There was a few flashbacks that I thought were a bit overused, and it was like a lazy way to introduce us to characters and, their place in the world and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not sure we needed just as many as we got. But, I can't lie, really. I was quite impressed with the inventive action here, and the inventive set pieces. It was a combination of like modern techniques crossed with, mind the motorbike outside, crossed with like old-fashioned like action, like Jackie Chan using the environment to your advantage and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was really effective, and one of my favourite sequences in the film was the fight in the quiet car. So on the bullet train, or on this train, there's a car that's quiet, so you basically you're not allowed to talk or anything like that. It's like being in a library, I suppose you could argue. And there's this great fight between Brad Pitt and Lemon, I think. It was just really fun and inventive and very, very amusing. So I have to say I was pleasantly surprised by this. I enjoyed it more than I expected it to. I remember when it came out recently, nobody was really, it wasn't blowing that many people's skirts up, but it seems to be gathering a bit of pace in regards to respect. And I've not really heard anybody say anything particularly bad about this film. And that's understandable to me, because I have to say I really quite enjoyed this one. I thought it was pretty good and very, very entertaining. So yeah, if you get the opportunity, guys, if you want to watch a quite inventive and fun action film, I think you'll enjoy Bullet Train. It's got a lot of memorable characters in it, and I certainly was entertained by it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll be back with more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.